Good evening. Mob.
Good evening,
Hey,
sir.
this goes out to a lot more audience than what we're used to.
Wow. Good. How are you, mate?
I'm not bad. Yourself, brother?
Yeah, not bad. Getting over a bit of the flu, but I'm getting there, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Man flu, cough, splatter.
Yeah, don't say man flu too many times. I'll get loads of sympathy, guaranteed.
You're getting none, mate. We know this. We're getting none. You've tried all week. And you're getting none. And you sat there going man flu, and you're swinging back on a beer. Come on.
Speaking of beers, what are you drinking tonight, brother?
I'm actually on a rum tonight. I'm on a Zen's run.
Zen's run. Nice. I am on a bit of Brewdog Lost Blood Orange.
Nice.
Followed by a Guava Brewdog. So interesting, mixing the flavours tonight. So be a bit of a sticky show, I imagine, later on, which is fine. But yeah,
be like that dodgy nightclub where everybody used to go to, when you walk through, you left your shoes at the door. Really?
Oh yeah. There's like tacky everywhere. It's horrible. But
yeah.
How's things over in the design world? How's things going with that?
Busy, mate. Busy, thank you. Busy, getting there. Absolutely hectic. It's all good, but so all we can do is just keep going forward and see where we go. But
you produce some amazing things.
I will say, how's your new job in the care home, wiping the bums?
My maintenance man in the care home. So yeah, it's doing really
You're
well.
not the maintenance man. You go in the cupboard and that's the stock cupboard. We've all found this one out. You're really in the stock cupboard for the new rubber gloves and the toilet roll. Come on.
the special one finger rubber gloves and blindfolds. Yeah, that's what I end up. No, I'm doing well. It's nice because you don't realise how much of an impact you have on people's lives. Like I said, maintenance and that. You go to somebody's wheelchair and you do your checks on that, and you don't realise, without doing them checks, somebody's wheelchair doesn't work, especially an electric one. That's that person in mobile. Well, yeah, can't go downstairs. That's that person in mobile for the day, or silly little things that we take for granted. You do for these people, and it makes a massive difference.
How's also, the Magnolia going?
So I'll explain to the show. So for you guys that don't know, I used to work in maintenance in a forest, and every log cabin, so there were 55 of them, and every single wall were top to floor in 1970s Magnolia paint, and it was absolutely shocking. There's an edit somewhere of me with a crown and a scepter being the king of Magnolia, because I just can't stand that colour. Well, in the care home, not a absolute Magnolia in sight. It's all different shades of grey, which is a bit depressing, but it is what it is. But no, it's nice helping people, and it's something I'm good at. I'm good at helping people, and I take care of people, and yeah, it feels good. Until you get someone thrown at you by somebody with dementia, but other than that, it's all right. All good in the world.
That's all right. At least we know where to throw things when we all have a meet them. We just throw him at Liam. He's used to them. Absolutely fine. Just throw him his way.
Fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Any age of beardos who suddenly feel a slip on reality, just give me a shout and I'll book you in. It's fine. Don't worry. Magnolia.
Or the king of Magnolia.
Yeah. Oh dear to me. No, honestly, Lulu's the worst for that. He is, and if you can hear me, I'll kill him, because the amount of times he posted that bloody picture of me being the king of Magnolia is shocking. But hey, I got my own back this week. I centaured him, so that I might post that on the Beard Mob page later on, and everyone can have a little crack on that, so it'll be quite funny.
Well, but anyway, back to the show. Why don't we just give people a quick rundown of what the Mobb Inn is? Why they might have tuned in this evening, because I've got on the screen about 17, 18 people watching us. Obviously, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so could be more on YouTube as well. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. Hi, Mum. Yeah.
Mum, famous.
You all laugh. I say hi, Mum, but you guarantee you will see my Mum will be in chats, and it's great. I love it. She's a big supporter of mine. She's a big supporter of the bearding world, to be fair. She wasn't before, but now she's sort of understanding the charity behind it, especially with the hashtag Leon Army that's going on.
Your mum's back to the bearded designs as well. I can certainly say that one. Yeah.
And she's definitely getting behind it. She's donated to the Leon Army charity, which is fantastic. So before I do talk about the show, I'll give that a quick shout out. So if you want to get in touch with Lulu, who is the vice president of our chapter, or any of the people who are helping him out with this, you'll see green all over the socials. I'm hoping you see the green all over the socials. It's raising money to provide a lift for a young lad with a similar disability as Lulu, but he's only quite young. So we're trying to get a lift put in place for him just to help him out with his day-to-day. And so far, we're absolutely smashing goals. There's the Lulu waffle coming up very soon. Keep your eyes out on the socials for that. And honestly, just a share helps. And we're raising so much money.
Has been the GoFunded just added into the comments. So if anybody through the show wants to have a look at what Leon has, so don't want to go too deep into what he's got wrong because I don't want to get it wrong, but his illness is basically uncurable, and we're raising money to get him the lift. So it's not just because we can't get him the lift, it's because his mum's in poor health as well, and obviously the local authorities can't help, so we're trying to get the help for him. So the GoFundMe has been pinned to this live. I will leave it on here for the rest of the live. Go and check it out. There's Leon Army merch, there's the waffle that's got an absolute huge haul of bearded merch that I know has been collected, donated. Yeah, you definitely want to get through it. Beard Mob are posting it left, right and centre. It's up on stories, it's in pages. If you're part of the bearding world, then yeah, you know where it is. But yeah,
if you've never been part of the bearding world and you want to know what it does, this is what it does. Charity is what it's all about, and that's what we're doing, and it's fantastic.
Certainly is. Brilliant.
So
tonight,
which is fantastic, keeping up that good work, and all the designs done by Mr. Secretary Zen of our chapter, which is awesome. So tonight's show, like all our shows, it is the Mobb Inn, and the Mobb Inn is here to help you guys get to know mobsters that you might not otherwise get to interact with throughout your Beard Mob journey, or if you're just part of the Facebook groups, not necessarily part of the Beard Mob. So what we do is we do a real light-hearted interview with a different mobster every episode, and we get to know them. It could be one, it could be two, it all depends on the episode, and we speak to them, we talk about personal things, not too personal, and then we talk about their bearding journey, and we get to know them a little bit, and it just helps people, especially newbies, and a lot of people who've been here a while don't know these people and wouldn't get the opportunity to interact with these people. So that's what we're providing, that platform for you guys to learn. Some people who are presidents, some people who are captains, some people who run chapters. Just
bringing the bearding community together, like we say, we've got the connection from here across the pond, so why not bring across the pond over here? Let's see what they're doing over there and see if we can bring it over here, and let's get to know the person behind it as well.
The man behind the mobster, or woman.
Or woman,
or whatever you identify.
We have had women. You have had a woman on before, so yeah.
Yet to have a two-spirit person, but we've had men and women, so we're ticking boxes slowly.
Both boxes. Yeah. But on tonight's show, why don't I let you take this one, and then I'll bring the person in question into the Mobb Inn, shall we say?
You reckon I should big him up a little bit?
Why not? Because, like we say, it's introducing people to the person they might not know. So
fantastic. So this person has been on the bearding scene, has shocked me the amount of years this man has been on the bearded scene. Before every episode, we do a little bit of background info with the person, and we are shocked at how many years of experience this man has. It is absolutely phenomenal. He's been part of multiple things, not just Mob. He raises a lot of money for charity, and he ultimately wears bearding on his sleeve. He is one of these people who is always about...
Definitely wears bearding on the sleeve.
Yeah, always doing things and always helping the bearding community with so many different projects, so many different new ideas.
Can we stop this northerner mumbling on and just bring this man into the Mobb Inn and see who it is? Because otherwise,
go on,
this introduction could last about 20 minutes with the Sandman, if you know the Sandman. We all love you, Sandman, but...
Am I going to give his name?
Go on, then.
I'm feeling a bit fabulous tonight, so here he is, Mr. Fabs.
What's up, brothers?
How are we? How are we?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, no, well, welcome over the pond, and welcome into the Mobb Inn, into the Beard Mob's finest pub. How are we? How are we been?
We're good. We're good today. Little technical difficulties, but other than that, it's been a great day.
Hey, nobody needs to know about that one. We didn't have no technical difficulties.
This is a well-oiled machine that never has any problems or hiccups. Fabs, stop telling them otherwise.
Only on my end. On my end.
So, Fabs, for people that don't know you, trying to give the audience that are watching you're kind of basically your name and what mob chapter you're from, should we say first?
I'm part of Beard Mob California. I'm a member.
People would know you as Fabs, and then also what else? Just Fabs.
Fabulous, Forest Fabs. There's a lot of nicknames I've been given, but I go with Fabs. I like Fabs.
Fabs suits you, Mr. Fabulous.
Yeah,
definitely suits you.
I'm going to let the man over. Well, I always do it because I'm normally sat on that screen, so I'm used to pointing that way, but I'm going to let the man over here take over whilst I just sort out my drinks over here. But what are you drinking tonight, Fabs, by the way? Actually, we've got to say it's not tonight over there. So Fabs is actually like 8 hours behind us, so it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Am I quite correct?
Yeah, that's the sunlight coming through the window.
We don't have that at the moment. It's pitch black and there's a kid playing football in my arcade at the moment. That's all I can hear.
You got a lot of Facebook users.
I can see some bearded people talking in the reflection of a window, but it could be anybody.
I'm sipping on a vodka cranberry today.
Ooh.
See, that's a drink. So when I used to go out and drink and I used to promote nightclubs, the drink I used to always go to was a vodka, lemonade and blackcurrant juice. People could never get their head round why I drank it. They were there like, it doesn't go. And I'm there like, honestly, give it a try. And it's not, you can't taste the vodka over the blackcurrant. That's all I can say. It's an absolute wicked drink to be able to just keep drinking and drinking. So
yeah, it could be dangerous. I don't taste the vodka.
That's what I mean. I can get the whole cranberry juice and the vodka. It can be yeah.
I didn't expect it to be alcohol, to be fair. But hey, it's only California, isn't it?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, yeah. Definitely. It's 20 to 10 over here, so you're fine. You've come into the Mobb Inn over in England, so it's fine. It's 10 o'clock in the evening nearly. We're all good.
I actually prefer they have a vodka or a cranberry and pineapple juice, and I use that one, and oh my gosh, it's like insanely good.
Yeah, see, people won't understand. Like, obviously, we have chats backstage, and we've seen you. Well, I definitely seen you, and you were playing. Well, it wasn't. So you were doing it on a beer pong table, wasn't you? But you were betting, but afterwards. But you were playing beer pong before on your patio with a load of mates. Am I right in saying the other week?
Yeah. So we went to like an employee potluck, and we played left, right, center. I've never played. It's like a little betting, and then they had like side bets on flipping a coin, like $5, $10, and I didn't have any change, so I threw $100 on the table. I didn't think anybody'd want it, and my buddy wanted it, and I won $100 in like 2 seconds. Nice.
It's weird actually being in the Mobb Inn and having somebody who's actually into beer and beer games. It's fantastic. You fit the demographic perfectly. Brilliant. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Oh dear, we've got a person like you in our chapter. His name's Tyke, and he's like a proper beer aficionado. He loves like any of the ales and that. And
I want to say he promotes some sort of beer or beer company, doesn't he? Because if you go and check his Instagram and you want to know about beers over here, he is the man, or ales. If I'm saying it wrong, because I'm not a beer or ale drinker, I'm more a spirits man. But yeah, he promotes his real ales and beers. Like, we obviously have chats, but yeah, he's in there like there's no tomorrow. That man knows his real ale and that, I think, if I'm right in saying on that one.
I'll drink any beer except Bud Light.
Yeah, good shout.
There's that TikTok going around at the moment in there where they go, I'm going to go and grab some beers for the lads and have a night in. And as they grab it, they go and do the nails at the same time. And then you just, they then let go of the Bud Light and then they go back to the real like manly voice. And it's like, right, is there something about this? When you said this, it's now clicked that it's only in America, but we don't overly get Bud Light over it.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the commercial. It just upsets my stomach. I don't like Anheuser-Busch products. I just want to clarify that. I think that it's all funny. That's not why I don't drink it.
A little bit of background knowledge for you. Anheuser-Busch is massive in America. They own so many different brewing companies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so many of your small batch beers, like you see in your liquor stores and that, are owned by that same company. So there was a bit of news saying about Bud Light and that, and someone went, I don't want to drink Bud Light or anything it's associated with. And the guy was going through a list of what he owned in his store, and this customer was there for like an hour and he couldn't name a beer in that general purpose store that wasn't owned by that company.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's
a bit like Coca-Cola over here though, Liam. If you walk into any general store, I'm sounding American. If you walk into any corner shop and we have like the fridges, what you see in that Coca-Cola fridge is owned by them. And I didn't know this until I started working for them. Like, I used to do the shop signs and everything across the UK for Coca-Cola. So when I was going into the shops, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's only Coca-Cola they own. No, they own Oasis, they own this, they own that. They own like 90% of the drinks market. It's crazy what like one brand can own under that like umbrella.
They actually own Pepsi. It's really weird. So they own it, but due to a legal technicality, they can then say that it's a friendly challenge because it's so far up the corporate ladder that it doesn't actually come into it. So you see Pepsi versus Coca-Cola all the time, and somewhere high enough up, there is one person profiting from both sides.
Of course there is.
Absolutely nuts, like this massive corporate chain that goes so far up. And obviously Coca-Cola and Pepsi have always been against each other, and it took somebody and they worked it out and they followed the paper trail, and yeah, it's literally, there is somewhere where they are owned to a certain degree by the same person. Because legally you're not allowed a monopoly, so you're not allowed to own the complete rights. So there's a very, I think it's like 0.11% something daft that flips it, so it's not owned completely by the same company, so therefore it's legal. It's mad, absolutely mental,
absolutely crazy. But anyway, Fabs, you said you were from Beard Mob, California.
Yes,
have you always lived in California? Obviously, we've had chats, and I've said to you that is one place I am going when I save up enough UK pounds to get myself out there. I'm coming out to Cali. But have you always lived there, or have you lived anywhere else in America? Or
yeah, I've lived in like 5 other counties of California, but I'm born and raised in California. I'm like 15 minutes from where I was born.
Wow.
Boy.
There's counties in California. How big is California? Like, is it massive?
It's pretty massive. I mean, it's not that wide of a state, but it's really long. Like, to go from Mexico to Northern California is probably like 10 hours.
Hell's bells.
So that you say it's not pretty big, 10 hours like we say every single show. That's from the bottom of the UK near enough to the top of the UK. So it baffles us. So like, yeah, counties is little different areas. But yeah, you've always lived in Cali and gone to school in Cali. And
yeah,
what's that like? Because obviously, like me and you have spoken, you're into the 420 and stuff like that around there, so it's all laid back and we can tell that. But what was it like growing up in like we say, California and stuff like that?
I mean, it's really all I know, but it's a diverse. The part of California I live, it's diverse. I went to school with people of all nationalities, and I really didn't partake in 420 until towards the end of high school.
What sort of age is that? Because obviously that's like a different age bracket to over here with high school. How old are you when you're in high school in America?
So you graduate around 18 if you weren't held back or start early or what have you. So
it's all changed over here now for us, Liam. So you technically don't leave school until you're 18. You have to go off to college or sixth form over here. So
my brother was the last one or the first one where that law changed. It used to be where you left school at 16 and then you could either go into college or do whatever. Now you have to stay in full-time education until you're 18. So it's a bit rubbish, but hey, it is what it is.
So yeah, Facebook user. I actually used to live in Bakersfield too. I did 9th and 10th grade there, or 10th and 11th grade there.
So that's actually one of our mob members. You're on about the Orange County massive, Bakerfield.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of our mob members, Desrat, that's written that one in the chat. So Desrat, how do you know about Bakersfield then? So do you know?
3 hours from Orange County, but I had to go live with my grandfather at one point. My parents couldn't handle me any longer.
Wild child. I think every one of us in the bearding world have been wild childs until we grew the beards and just went, do you know what? We might start mellowing out when we've got this facial hair.
Well, I was part of a very military household, so having facial hair other than a mustache was very much frowned on. My dad's got a beard now, but he always had the military mustache. That was it. Hair was always the same, very much clean-shaven cheeks and chin.
What happened to you then if the hair was always the same? Because you've had about 8 different beard and hairstyles in the whole year that we've been to, in mob. If you don't know this, perhaps he's on his 9th version of his beard in the 2nd year of competing at the moment. He's trying to work his way through the categories and
finding my feet, finding where I feel, finding what feels correct. I've had chops, I've had mustache, I've had longer beard, shorter beard, everything. It's great, love it. But my wife's put a ban on shaving now, so I'm not allowed to trim it, shave it, or nothing, otherwise she'll castrate me with a spoon.
Yeah, Charles, that Cali weed, I mean, I haven't had any that's as good. There's 3 things that you gotta love about Cali. It's our weather, our weed, and our Mexican food.
We were talking about this in the chat. The first thing when I found out you're from Cali, I was there's only one reason why I want to go out there, and it's to try the real Cali weed. And we've had a conversation on that one, and it's
man. I mean, I get it delivered now. I don't even got to go anywhere.
We can't overly talk about it like that over here, and we know the reasons for that. We get the popo at the door if we were to obtain substances like that. So I would never touch anything like that.
Talk about weed enough, you'll see Lulu just sort of rise up from his bed Dracula. If you speak about weed enough.
It's pretty crazy to go on your phone and you can actually see the live menu, pick what you want, and then have it delivered.
It's mad.
It's just crazy. That's what I mean. Where you're from, it's
a great place to visit.
What do you do so obviously when you left school at 18, like we say, you leave high school at 18. What did you do when you left school? So I went off into the sign game, and then I've kind of been a paint and decorate, and then I've come back into the sign game. What did you do?
I mean, I've done a little bit of everything. I guess my first few jobs were aside from a paper route as a kid, was working fast food. I worked at Burger King, and then
I was a McDonald's employee, so I was your rival. Yeah.
And I did security at one point, and then I started doing construction trades and moving furniture.
Sorry. So you just mentioned that Lulu would come out of his grave and mention when we mentioned Cali. He literally has got "I'm moving to Cali" in the comments. So if you've not seen that, Fabs, that is our Vice President Lulu going, "I'm moving to Cali." Like we say, if you say it enough times, he will appear.
All right, we could just start prospecting you now. I mean,
you're not taking our BP.
Oh wait, that's a straight transfer. He doesn't even have to prospect.
No, he doesn't have to prospect an MVP.
Over, bro.
Go on. We'll start packing his bags. I'll make sure his tires are inflated.
We'll make sure the batteries are charged up and he's on his travels.
Yeah, and then like the best Mexican food, man. Like I've tried Mexican food. I travel a lot. Travel a lot for competitions, and nothing holds a torch to Cali's Mexican food.
See, that's cool. We'll come over. Zen and Lulu can do the 420 and all that jazz, and I'll just have a Mexican food, and that'll be fine. That's fine with me. You know, I love the Mexican food. Go on then. What's your favourite Mexican dish?
I mean, it's hard to pick one.
You got to admit, he does love Mexican with the. I've got to say, you've got like a cushion. I don't know what side it is, but it's. Yeah, that's what I mean. I couldn't put the name to it, and I knew that man would. So, yeah.
So like when I met Emily, she was like, we can't eat Mexican food every night. I was like, bullshit. I've been doing that for years. Like, that's why they have so many different entrees. Like, I could do tacos on Tuesday, nachos on Wednesday, burrito on Thursday, like torta on Friday. You can just keep going, man.
When you have gas, is it like being struck by napalm?
I'm sorry?
When you have gas, is it like being struck by napalm because of all the spices?
Nah, I mean, I don't really do. I love the taste of spices, but like it'll tear me up. But I do love the salsa verde sauce. It's usually a little more mild than the red.
No,
I like a good chimichanga is definitely up there, and enchiladas and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I make some pretty good enchiladas.
See,
I think every man does. I think I don't know what it is, but if like us men, yes, not all of us can cook, but there are certain dishes, and I think those are the dishes we can cook, are those sorts of ones. Because
I never really cooked for anything for myself aside from some breakfast items, and up until like 8 years ago, and then my girlfriend at the time and I split up, and then I just got tired of eating fast food, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to cook the stuff that I want. So I was cooking like burgers, enchiladas, meatloaf, started dabbling in barbecuing, and I really enjoy it. And then everyone is pleased when I barbecue or cook inside. Like, I get a little frustrated when I cook inside, but outside I'm a whole different person.
I'm going to ask a question because it's beard related. Going by the list of food that you've just labelled, how in the name of all things holy do you eat that without getting it everywhere?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I have a little bit of an area where it's like separated. Yeah. You've got no area. You've got like the tiniest of holes to get that into.
So I just eat my beard. Like, I know a lot of people do I'm not gonna do that, especially not in public. I haven't had food without hair in it in like 8 years. So like if the cook's hair actually ended up in my food, I wouldn't even be grossed out because I would just assume that it's mine.
It's a fair point.
And mine has like a little bit of every color too, so it's not like I can even be like, oh fuck, that's the cook's. I would be like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss, but I wouldn't know if it was mine or not.
So like the greasiest spoons in America are going, we're safe guys, don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry, if this man walks in and you've got reviews for hair, it's not from this man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just protein. It's extra protein.
Extra protein, yeah, definitely. Flavour.
So like we were saying, you're a man of many trades, but what do you currently do at the moment for?
I don't install anymore. I was installing, and now I service multi-panel stacking doors, accordion doors, entry doors, like all real heavy glass metal doors, and window walls that are like 20 feet by 20 feet.
Well, damn.
What we do another program is so high and stuff like that. We have got pictures, and I am going to post them up because you have put pictures up. It's just tonight I haven't got them on there. But yeah, so the things you do over here are like, I would accumulate them to like bifold doors, but on like 10 times scale, wouldn't you, Liam? It's
I would say think about the old cricket pavilions, that sort of size. Do you know what I mean? The old country home where you go to like a golf range, them sort of. That's the only thing English that I would make relevant to the size. So if anybody's English watching, we've seen the photos. So the size is like if you go to a really good golf club or anything like that, and you see the greenhouses, the massive houses where they have all the get-togethers and whatnot.
Crazy.
Literally top to floor of them. Massive. Yeah. Absolutely nuts.
We do bifold doors, and then we have some that come together on the corner of your unit.
That's what I mean. What you do is 10 times what we have over here, and
Who's that Facebook user? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that's Yukon. So current job for Fabs is best in show.
We love Yukon.
I'm trying. I just need to get paid doing it so I could stay home and just manicure this all day.
Yeah, we haven't got this on. So obviously you say like 8 years of eating beard hair. So I'm going to take that you've been in bearding for about 8-9 years maybe.
I've been competitively bearding for, I think it'll be 8 years at the end of this year.
Wow.
Like September, October this year.
That's
Emily talked me into going to my first beard competition. I think
8 years ago.
It's just like a wooden plaque, but it was my very first beard comp.
Do you know what my first beard comp is actually like? It's our biggest meetup as of Mobb, and it's actually in like 3 weeks' time. It's OPs, so big shout out to Jamie Cox over at OPs, and
massive shout out.
Massive shout out.
It is like the mecca.
So it kind of starts the UK beard scene for the year, and then we end with Beard On. But yeah, Beard On's our one. But I can always remember my first comp, and for you to have a trophy from your first comp as well.
Third place.
Third
I got
place.
third place in my first competition.
So I was hooked right away, man. You know, you're hooked once you place. If you're not already.
Silky in freestyle in my first competition, and I came third. I was like, I'll take it.
That's good. Opie's is a big sponsor in the Valhalla Beard group that I admin. They're a big sponsor there.
Do you have any plans of competing across the pond?
I don't have any problems, but for a little longer, I can't get a passport for a little while.
So they've got problems over. A lot of them haven't got vaccinated, so there's rules on us going out there and them coming over here. It's a bit of a sort of subject with few of Mobb members and that. So until they drop that restriction, I think a lot of us that haven't been vaccinated can't cross the pond easy enough without having that COVID passport.
Surely, if California weed is that good, you should just be able to fly. Like,
I mean, I don't
be able to fly on your own accord.
I don't think that, like, it's not for everyone. Like, I know people can travel overseas, and I know a lot of people are going to Worlds. I just personally can't get a passport for a little while, maybe another year.
Fair enough.
So we've talked about how long you've been in the bearding circuit, which is 8 years, which is an absolutely amazing achievement. There's only a few that I can think of that have hit that sort of level of dedication, like your Mick Wallage, that sort of thing. How long has it taken you?
And stuff like that.
Yeah, how long has it taken you to get the length of beard that you're on now? How long has that taken to grow?
I mean, I don't feel like it took that long. Under 2 years. I just trimmed my beard a lot, like a lot. I took 5 inches off in November for the nationals in the States. I took 5 inches off. I needed to take a few off. It was thin. I guess works really hard on my beard, like the line of work that I do. I pretty much have my beard balled up in like a knot all day, every day.
I feel like a toddler in an adult convention with the size of my beard at the minute.
Well,
It's not about beard size. It's about heart size.
Man,
Yes.
I will give him one. I will give him that one. And obviously, you come into the bearding world, and like you say, partner brought you into it. And what was your first comp like? Because obviously, like I say, we've got Opie's round the corner, and it's quite amazing you've brought this up. So, go into your first comp. You do remember that? What was it like, and the feeling you had going there? Like,
so
do you get?
I'm like an introvert. Like, unless you like know me, people will say I'm really quiet. People who know me say I never shut up. So Emily talked me into going to my first comp, and it was really close, like 15 minutes away, and it said outfits and courage. And I'm not one to like even go on stage, let alone an outfit. Emily like kept trying to get me to do an outfit. So I wore an outfit. I went, I don't know if you know the reference, I went as Will Robertson from Duck Dynasty.
Yep.
I had like a wig and bandana, and we show up, and no one, the whole thing is in an outfit. I'm the only one. So I'm like a little bit mortified because, like I said, I'm an introvert, and I went on stage and they're like, "What's your name? Where are you from?" I'm like, "John Fabila, Orange County," and like just walked off stage. Like, but luckily I got third. But you know, Emily told me you need to like say more when you're on the microphone. But like, cooler than getting third place at my first comp. Like, it helped me like overcome a little bit of my personal stuff, but also like my very first competition, I met legends in the beard community. I met legends like Nate Johnson, John Banks, Paul McTwin, like so like I don't know, like, and we were like friends right away. So like I know people like idolize them. Like I never really had that opportunity because we just clicked up and were friends from right away.
I'm gonna have to say that one. So you say 8 years ago you had that meeting. So a year ago in 2 weeks' time, I actually had this meeting. So I walked into the bearding world probably just over a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. Never competed online, not being a lot online. Went to OPs. I met world champions there. I met like British champions, not having a clue who they were. To now, like you say, I made friends on that day that I now have phone numbers of these people that I speak to on a daily basis. It's beyond belief sometimes. Like you see them online and you go, wow, they're like so well known, but then you speak to them on a basis and you're there like, yeah, you're absolutely solid, but then you've all got the same outlook, if I'm right in saying. Like we all keep saying it, we've got that big C that we all go to those comps for, which is charity. And
charity and to see and hang out with those people.
I mean, I echo exactly what Zen's just said. I mean, I went to my first competition and I met with the likes of Mick Wallage and Silky. Silky blew me away because I was in a group with Silky, and Silky was bigged up quite a bit. And when I found out I was competing with him, my heart was just racing. And you see these people and you see that they've done it a while and that sort of thing. And then I competed against Silky, and me and Silky got in touch. We got on quite well. Then I joined Mobb. And then earlier in the year, in the British, I competed against Mick Wallage in chops. And that was a weird sensation. I came third, which was like mind-blowing. But yeah, honestly, you don't realise that these people who you idolise or others have idolised and you've sort of got
people.
The tail they are just normal people, and they're all friendly.
I've never met Wallage, but even where I'm at, way over here, he's a legend in the chops. He's big heart. He helped out with our Beard Mob California raffle that we did to help out a member that their house was washed away during the floods. He helped out and donated. So yeah, I mean, there's legends on both sides of the pond. they like people consider them legends, but like really they're just normal people like you.
And this is the thing, like we call them legends now, and the thing is, if they were to watch this back, we get the backlash and the messages going, I'm not a legend, you're this, that and the other, I'm just a normal person. And you're quite correct, we are all normal people, but like you say, walking into that, like I'm going to go off this one, walking into that first comp where you did see all these, we will call them legends because they are legends in our eyes. It's what's kept all of us in the bearding world and raising money for charity. How did you go from that first competition into Beard Mob prospect? That's how I want to know. So did you do a few more competitions, or because obviously 8 years ago, I'm going to say Mob wasn't about. So
I was I think Mob is a little over 6 years old because they just had Mob 6. So I met those individuals that I mentioned that, you know, now that I met them, I consider them like legends just because the stuff that they've done in the community and accomplished. But I joined their club. We joined their club to do local charities with them because they were like doing the LA Food Bank, the River Canal cleanup, Project Paper Bag, just things that like I've always wanted to do charity, but like to do it with a group of people, it just feels more impactful than like doing it by yourself. I'm not saying don't do it by yourself. You can help somebody out, help somebody out. I do it all the time. But like to do it in a group environment like that, with people that you have similar interests with, it just feels more impactful, and I'm having more fun doing it. And so I've been with them pretty much since the beginning. I still am with the Gentlemen's Social Club of Los Angeles. And I watched Beard Mob. I was in the Facebook group for a few years before I decided to prospect for them. Like they're just like a beard club in my opinion, which I'm not downing any beard clubs, but like some of them do more work than others. And I started seeing all the stuff they were doing, and I wanted to be a part of doing that. And I asked the prospect, and I don't know how long ago that was, but I do know that I was a captain for Beard Mob California before Mob Fest 4, because I was going to go to Mob Fest 4, and then COVID started, and Emily's high risk, so I declined to go just for safety measures.
Yeah, that's fair shout. So, wow. So you done a hell of a lot of competing beforehand from your first competition to becoming into Beard Mob then. That's absolutely mental. What role?
Sorry, go on.
No, crack on.
So it blows my mind, really. I don't know if I'm literally hanging off every word that you're saying. A lot of people we interview, especially myself, because I've done this is what episode 4 now, and with the exception of Boo, it's usually very new people to the bearding scene join Mob, and then Mob becomes their foothold into the bearding world. Do you know what I mean? And they develop like that.
Yeah,
it's so interesting seeing somebody who already had that and then joined Mob. So it's not like Mob gets you into the bearding world. You was already part of it and then saw what Mob was and then went with that, which is an amazing different perspective to have on it, which I think is fantastic.
I'm a member of 3 clubs, the Gentlemen's Social Club, as I mentioned. I'm also a member of Talking Beards, the club, and then I'm now the West Coast Beard Mob president. Well, I'm all about Mob, man. Like I love Mob. Like I don't know, like I've never met anyone bad in the beard community, honestly, that I can't have a conversation with and sit down and have a beer with or what have you. Like everyone's solid, in my opinion. I know there's dramas in beard clubs, but that's gonna happen in any type of club when you have this many members. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think no matter what, I think when, like you say, everybody comes in for the same purpose, and we all end up being family, and families, we all know, bicker, and like you say, but to be part of 3 clubs, that's awesome, because obviously, like myself and Liam, we're both part of the British Beard Club, because I hold my one for that, and then I'm also part of Beard Mob, and yeah, I am like joined to other, shall we say, groups along Facebook, but yeah,
So 3 clubs. The only time it's weird is because you're allowed to be in multiple clubs. The only time it's weird is like when you're on stage and you feel I feel the need to mention every single club, so I feel like I'm hogging up the microphone a little bit. But other than that, it just gives you a chance to meet more cool people, do more work with charity, and mob the fuck up. In this close instance,
I was about to say, you go from your first competition where you say you literally grabbed that mic and went, I'm such and such, and then ran off, to now going, I have to mention this club, that club, this club. I've got to do this. So this is what bearding does for people. Like Liam was said, I was the same at Opie's. I remember Jamie Cox passing me that microphone, and I'm moving away from it. I'm there like, no, don't bring that microphone near to me. Like, but my last comp, it's crazy to think. This world brings so much confidence out in people, but then we've got such a big thing. Like, us 3 wouldn't be sat here on a screen if we didn't have the same passions in life. Being lazy and not wanting to shave, raise a hell of a lot of money for charity, and dress up and meet a hell of a lot of friends.
You can't say the stereotype being lazy, not wanting to shave, because this is a lot more work than grabbing a razor every other day.
Hell yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I don't know what Facebook user asked the 2 questions, but
That was Errol Brown again. So 2 questions for Fabs. What's your favourite?
that's a hard one.
What's your favourite trophy? And 2, what trophy means the most to you? Ooh.
My favorite would have to be a recent acquire.
Desrat needs to come on this show. They ask some blinding questions.
Should we just bring... I like this one.
Real sharp fucking axe from Sin City Beard Coalition in Las Vegas.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Imagine
getting... Right, sorry, but being given that as a trophy over here, putting that in your car, trying to drive back from a competition... No chance in hell. But in America, you can put that on a wall and it just gets like looked in a different way.
So the competition, Zen, when we all pulled up at car park and it's me and Judd, both northern blokes, and we both got axes in the back of our boots. So like, sorry, trunks. I don't mean sticking me now on actual footwear. So I used to do forestry, so I always had an axe with me. And our vice captain, Big Judd, had an axe with him as well. And it just so happened where we were the only few from the north of England, so it looked like it was a prerequisite. If you were part of the north of England,
you had to have an axe.
You had to have an axe in your boot or trunk, so to speak. So that's just reminded us that we rocked up to this competition with these massive axes in the back of our cars, and people looking at us going, like, "Are you guys okay? Are you all right?" You know,
it's all right. We just knew it was you and Judd anyway.
Yeah.
So obviously we just seen your favourite one. So what was your trophy that means the most to you, or could it be a comp that means the most to you? Are you going to say
the trophy that means the most to me is not for competing? It was for judging, and it's I can't take it off because I like double taped it to the wall.
No more nails there.
It's the paddle from Mobb 6. It just meant a lot to me for me to be asked to come back to my beard club's competition and judge my family at Mobb 6.
Yeah, that's got to take some passion. Like, we talk about having Mob Fest over here, and like one day, fingers crossed, you boys can come over here on free will, and Mob Fest will be. Imagine that one, but yeah. Oh, we'll feed the Americans. We'll feed them well.
We'll give you food.
We're gonna need an American MC though, because
nobody will understand any of us unless it's Silky. The only people you've gained to listen is Silky, but I'm not too far off Silky's accent, so.
I'm bad with that. So don't get mad at Fabs, but y'all will be like, partial freestyle, and people are just gonna be out there partying. They're not gonna know what the hell you're saying. Like, Oh, we have like two. We have a UK one and then an American translator. He said,
if only we knew somebody fabulous enough to do that.
I was about to say we could host it like the Eurovisions. Literally, you have the English presenter, and then over the channel you have the American announcer. But the problem is, for the American announcer, we're going to have each different state. So imagine each different chapter having to have their announcer.
That would be fantastic.
One category would last about 10 minutes being announced.
"You're good. Just don't have your American MC be like Buffon."
What's that? So does he just keep going on, or is he?
Like, we're all from America, but the South is hard to understand to me.
Because I had the pleasure of Mobfest 5, pre-Mobfest. Boo and Wizard did a live with me, like just a video chat, getting to know him and that sort of thing. And Boo was talking to me, and I'm like, I genuinely had like an aneurysm listening to him. I felt my brain leak out of my ear and just disappear into nothingness. So hard. I've got used to it now. So if you look at the first episode of Mobb Inn, there's a few times where I'm going, what? That's not even like an Earth language. Never mind American or English. It was so bad. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I feel like the more you hear it, though, like the more I listen to you guys, and then like I've been listening, like I told you in the chat, like UK
This
rap.
is what I was about to say. Can you please tell our English audience what you have been traveling around California listening to this week? So absolutely everyone, this blew my mind, and when I seen it pop up in the chat that we had, yeah, I was there like, no way has that got from here to California.
It all started with because Central C does like remakes of popular songs that are being played here right now, and I just heard it wasn't the Doja Cat one. I forget which one it was. I have it on my list. I'll look it up because I saved it.
Yes,
I looked for that song on my Spotify, and ever since I was driving my truck, and ever since I did that, it just kept playing suggested songs based off that. So like for the last few days going to work, I've just been hearing like UK rappers. Like,
so the man below, every time he said UK rappers, it kind of tickled me, because over in the UK we called them MC. So it's a kind of, when it's like Central C's like a. Yeah, when you it tickled me a little. I couldn't get my head around it, because I listened to that sort of music on my own. So when Liam come in earlier on, I was listening to it, and I turned it, and his face was there like, oh, okay.
So,
but that's my guilty pleasure.
It all started from "Let's Go," the Central C "Let's Go" song. So I looked for that, and then it just kept suggesting things that I might like, and I was like, this ain't bad. And like listening to it, I'm like, I only know half of what they said because it's so fast, and the accent.
I'm gonna let you guys love your life and have your thing, because this is the wrong end of the music spectrum for me. I'm gonna let you guys have your bit of love, have your little brotherly bonding while you do your thing, and I'm gonna just smile and wave and nod.
I listen to all genres of music. I will, except for I just can't stand country. Like I can't listen.
You can't stop. You're American. That's like
I was about to say this one. How you're going to have disappointed
everyone?
One big family in our mob, which are called the Parkers.
You just like drove a knife into
everyone's entitled to like their own thing,
yeah,
and have an opinion. And for me, it's just like, as a kid, I was forced to listen to it like my whole childhood, from my parents and then even my brother. So I just like rebelled against it instantly. And then I did give it a genuine try when I tried listening to other genres of music, but it just made me want to like commit suicide, or I don't know, make me sad. Like
our messenger is gonna go absolutely ballistic.
I don't know what you're on about, because we don't have that one no more.
Well, no, but all right,
our chats.
Our social media devices that provide messaging are going to go absolutely crazy, because
I know a lot of people love country.
5 members, they're just going to,
So we actually have a family, Fabs, and they are devoted to country. So we have like, I want to say there was a country convention over here not too long ago. They actually traveled to it for the weekend to see like American country singers that come over here. Like they wear Stinsons and they've got the boots. They love the lifestyle. So you've just killed off 5 of our members, mate.
It's okay.
I'm joking.
Americans are the same way. Okay. Americans are the same way in like the South. And then look at it. There's already a vote to kick me out.
Actually, like, the park is just
what have we done? What have we done over in England? We've started a show and now we've started a vote to kick out a president of a chapter. No, what have we done, Liam? Like, this is your show, Liam. I'm leaving this one with you, mate.
If you don't like it, go back and watch a Jiggy episode and just blank this and pretend this didn't happen.
I mean, right now, like 2 hours from here, they're having a giant country music festival, Coachella. Like everybody's going there.
Coachella, like, did you just say?
No, Stagecoach. I'm sorry, Stagecoach.
Sorry, I was about to say Coachella. That's not country and western, because didn't Beyonce perform at that one? And
Coachella was the 2 weekends prior, but this weekend is Stagecoach.
See, he don't like country and western. He's just confused. He thinks Beyonce is country and western. That's all it is.
He was listening to too much English. It went on to Beyonce to put a ring on it.
Hey, don't kick me out, Birdie. I didn't even understand what those UK folks were saying.
So, obviously, we obviously know our Silky's our president over here, and he's our international mob. So, you come in, you prospected, you ended up being a captain for Mob California, I take it. And now you are president of
the West Coast region.
So how many chapters do you have that are under your control?
So I'm new. I don't know that number, but
I'll just put him on the spot here now.
I think it's 7 or 8 states.
Hang on. I'm going to do a bit of Rain Man for you.
This is where I put Sandman on the spot, Fabs. Here we go. He's a man with Judd that's got near on every state patch, but I know our Silky has every single one.
See, Rachel agrees with me.
So Rachel is our captain's wife and is one of our mob women.
So, are we talking Florida?
Florida, no. So, all right. I know for sure California, which is an established chapter, Washington, which is an established chapter, Oregon, which will be an established chapter here once probation's complete, Utah, which is an established chapter, and then we have Nevada, which is not yet established, Hawaii, which is not yet established, Alaska, which is not yet established, and if there's one more, I'm not remembering what it is. I apologize. It might be
Cali, Washington, and Utah. So anything else doesn't exist yet. So therefore, I'm winning and I'm happy. I mean, Silky hasn't got one up on me yet, so that's okay.
Oregon will be soon, guaranteed.
So which was the new one that you just said is nearly finished prospecting? Is this Oregon. A new one that you can release, or can we not talk about?
We can talk about it. We have.
Did you know about this one, Liam? Have you heard about this?
So I knew about Oregon, and I knew about. Hang on a minute, off the top of my head. So Florida's getting a rebrand. I know about Oregon, and I know about a few more that Fabs actually hasn't mentioned. Whether I'm allowed to know about that, I don't know.
I wouldn't know about the Oregon one. So have we got members that are like grouping together at the moment, or on?
We have 2 members that are prospecting, that are in the States, well known in the bearding community. They've been around the scene for a while.
One of them's
once they complete probation as normal, being the new chapter, he's going to be captain. And his one condition was that his wife was part of the club. And I said, yes, of course, I love it. Like, make her part of your cabinet.
Hell yeah.
That's beautiful. We love the family aspect of it all. Definitely.
So Carla, so you just seen the one to do with wouldn't mind being the captain of Hawaii. So that's actually a woman over here called Carla Perrin. So have you seen the mini-me's that have been floating around? I have one myself that's right here.
Yeah, but is she in the UK?
So she's in the UK, so that comment was meaning that she will fly out there with her fella and start up a cabinet for us by the sounds of it. So see you later, Carla. Bye.
Bye, Carla.
I need a Hawaii captain. So in my mind, Alaska and Hawaii. Alaska is the other one. Alaska.
Yes,
I would love to live out in Alaska.
So Alaska and Hawaii are going to be hard to incorporate. They just really are. Like as a president's standpoint. Like,
not being funny, Alaska, like if you live out there, your next neighbor's sometimes like how many hundreds
a day away.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. You watch all those programs out there and you think, well, how could you start a beer club in Alaska if your next neighbor's 15?
But everyone in Alaska is bearded out of necessity.
Keeps them warm.
But they're not going to be on Facebook.
And Beard Mob is just going to be fantastic. Though that is literally like going to be. Instead of trying to find, like some of your smaller chapters, trying to find bearded people to join your chapter, it's going to be trying to kick people out and find people that don't have beards to say, well, we can start your journey from here.
I don't think it really... Do you have to have facial hair if you're doing charity? And
so technically, right, so we have a Tasha. His name is the Tash. We also, like you said, you've got a cabinet starting at the moment with women. So technically, I don't know. It depends if the big boys would allow a cabinet to start in Alaska that's just women and maybe bring the blokes into it. Imagine that one.
If they're doing the missions and helping with charity, I don't think we should seclude
some of the best officers in Beard Mob are women. For the likes of Dimples, Jiggy. Dimples is the captain of the Oklahoma. She's only just been made captain of Oklahoma chapter. So some of your best actual officers are female.
Mercedes.
They do an amazing job.
Mercedes Kennedy, she's a cool person too.
She's amazing. She's a really lovely person, yeah.
I've got Mercedes on my face, but yeah, I see her pop up. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, be Megan.
So one of my favorite categories are the Whiskerina categories, and that's why they're usually towards the end. I mean, you never know what you're going to see in these categories.
No, this is the thing. So obviously, where I'm from in the UK down south, it's a very weird thing. I get probably more looks with my facial hair than what the rest of the lads in Beard Mob England do. And when I start speaking to people and I say, oh, I'm part of the beard club, they go, all right, what, just full of blokes? And when I go, no, I've got women that compete. And I've shown them pictures of Jiggy, and a person that just commented, I've shown them pictures of like Carla, and obviously we've got Freckles in our beard mob as well, and you show them pictures of them. Like, women compete in a beard competition, and you go, because of...
Same here, I get that. Like, I look forward to the Whiskerina category the most, but when I'm judging, it's the opposite. That is one hard category to judge. Any competition.
Category.
It's hard to judge. Zen frozen?
I don't know, but I'm here, so we'll go from there. It's like some sort of... It's almost like an alien world, isn't it? When you try and picture women in the bearding community competing and taking that sort of stance on things, because
my bad.
Okay, don't worry. I've got it. Don't worry. So for people who are not in the bearding community or people who are very new to it, the idea of women competing is a complete alien process.
Yeah.
Even though we can sit here and say, no, they're actually some of the best competitors, judges, officers, members, however which way you want to brush
participants in the whole whole thing.
People who don't literally see it don't
Go on,
grasp the
Fabs.
concept.
Go on, Fabs.
We groom these things and buy products for them and whatnot, and we go to these competitions. That's what we do. But the women, they don't have the hassle of wearing this every day, but they spend money to buy this, especially creative. They spend money to buy the supplies. They spend their time putting it together. They fly out like we do, and they compete. And then a lot of them spend more money and buy an outfit to go with said beard.
Thank you. So we brought on, like, you, when me and you spoke, we brought on Jiggy. You Mobb Winning are now going to find out we brought on Jiggy to give you a kick up the bum, because we want over in the UK the women's creative to be as big as what it is in America. And Jiggy is that person. And do you know what's happened since that? It's given a lot of women in the UK a big kick up the bum. Like you say, they spend a lot more time. And I know this man next to me, his wife has spent a hell of a lot of time doing her beard and changing the design and going, no, this isn't right, that isn't right. Well, me, I'm going to wake up on the morning, I'm going to have a shower, and 3 hours before the competition, that is what style I'm going to go with. But my costume might be sorted, so it's a bit different, like you say.
I give myself 2 hours at a competition to get ready. I mean, I don't got to style nothing though, so.
Yeah, like I know my costume's ready, but the style that I'm going with my tash at the moment isn't. Do you know what I mean? But the women, like you say, they're months in advance.
I mean, you don't have to buy an outfit per se, but I've seen that done a lot in that category. Like my girlfriend competes; she's placed a few times now, but she also works at a school, so she doesn't like have an insane amount of money to like go buy an outfit, you know. So she'll compete when she can, mostly locally, because she doesn't get a lot of time off like I do. Well, yeah, I see both sides, and then I have a lot of West Carolina friends.
I'm going to spend the first hour of our competition explaining to people that I'm not actually female. I do actually have a beard, and that I will actually be competing in the male categories and not Whiskerina, because I had a trim in my beard. I should have left it. I had chops that were growing, and I trimmed it all off, and I went back to clean shaven, and I've grown back again. But I want a beard as long as Fabs, and I know in the bearding world, you get what you're given, and you grow what you've got, and you.
Well, this man below here has been given a hell of a lot of facial hair.
Yes.
Like,
so for those watching, I am a man, and I'm not just a Whiskerina in disguise. I promise.
Or a magnolia potato.
So, like, if you're a female and you're thinking about wanting to join the club or raise money or compete, just Google image search Whiskerina. It's like some of these images, like, and these are still images. Imagine seeing them all across the stage. You can't hold your beard up. It has to be like on your face.
Like ours is there, and you've got to think they've got to figure out how to attach.
Not like see how it's attached. Like
It blows my mind every time. Like you say, like we give ourselves a couple of hours, and it's crazy. But so whilst we're still on this conversation of competitions, what is your next competition you're going to, Fabs, and how close or how far away is it?
So I've been
competing.
I've been traveling a lot lately, especially last year, and judging a lot, which is something I've always wanted to do since when I first started competing. I kind of take a break. I did the two that I must do this year. I did a few. But I did You Matter and Mob Fest, which I had to do. And then Sin City Beer Coalition, they invited me out to judge last year. So and they're a 5-hour drive. I had to go show up over there and compete. Well, other than that, I had to cancel on, sadly, I canceled on a Texas event of judging next weekend. And my next beer competition isn't until August. It's the only one this year that I'm committed to right now. Other than that, I'm taking a break.
Just having a year out, kind of.
Yeah, like it's just a lot of money when you add it up. I was doing like every other weekend for almost a year.
this is what baffles us over here. Like we say, like OP starts us. We have 3, maybe 4 comps through the year, but you guys over there, and this is why we want it so big, is every other weekend. Or if you could, I reckon you could do it every weekend of the year, couldn't you? Probably like Christmas.
I don't have that much time off. I don't have that much time off, but there is generally 2 competitions a weekend in the States, somewhere.
Wow.
So when we did our interview with Red Run Rice, he literally travels
every weekend.
Every weekend. People like Aaron Johnson.
He travels weekly. The man,
and he only drives. He only drives to them, whether they're in California or Washington or
him
whatever.
and Natalie. We met them. We met them personally here at the British last year.
Amazing
and
people.
They are amazing people, and every single show we have to take your hats off to you, because if it wasn't for you, Mobb wouldn't be in the UK for Honest Amish. So, Honest Amish, thank you very much for joining us all together, and then bringing Silky, and for Silky for doing his thing. And
I mean, luckily, you know, he's reimbursed for his travels because of how he represents his company, and they've sponsored 90% of the competitions this year alone.
I know, it's crazy, and I know that's not over there, and it's over here as well. It's they do so much, that brand, it's unreal. And those 2 in particular, if you don't know who we're on about, it's Aaron D. Johnson, if I'm right.
D. Johnson,
and Natalie Johnson as well. Just take a look at them and see how much they do. If you want to know about people in the bearding world and traveling,
I felt like before I met like West Coast legends like John Banks and Nate Johnson and stuff, and I wasn't intimidated, but like I met the Johnsons here years ago, and there was somebody that I was genuinely intimidated by. Like, they were here and they had a microphone and a camera for talking beers. I just avoided them, like, on purpose, because I was intimidated. Like, and I told them that, and they're like, "We're just regular people." Like, they laugh. Like,
so this was the thing, like you say that I was quite like, I'd seen them online. So when I kind of stepped into the bearding world, I done a bit of the adding, like you do, the whole companies, and then they shone out, and every single time. And then when I went to beard the British with Mobb and seen them literally in person, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was a surreal moment, and to speak to them.
Bearded for charity in the dictionary and put something.
It'd have pictures of those two by it.
Yeah. If you put something next to it to explain or show
those
what it is.
two and a few of the other top boys about. Yeah, big style.
And they're so kind. They literally live and breathe kindness. It's around them. You can't help but feel it.
And this isn't us blowing smoke up people's ring holes. This is us being honest. Like, I stepped into it. You've got 3 different people on screen. You've got a man that's over 8 years in the game. I'm a year in the game. There's another man that's 2-3 years in the game. We all see it. This community is so much about charity and
love.
Love. Like me and Sandman said, me a year ago was so shy. I wouldn't be doing these shows. And
so, on the love thing, like, like competing and judging, like I go to these places I've never been. Like, I fly in there, I've never been there, and people, especially the people in the South States, they open their home up to you. They're like, "Yeah, Babs, you and Emily can come stay here." Like, like cook food meals for you that like are from that region that I've never had before. Like, I've eaten so many things on the road that I've never eaten here in California that
you wouldn't have tried if you were in there.
Yeah.
I think if I'm right in saying when you left Mobb Fest that there was a cook up that they said you have to eat. Can I ask what that was? Because I was trying to rack my brains around it. There was
I've been to Mob Fest a few times, and the things that I've tried there that I've never had in my life, being from California, is I tried frog legs, like fried frog legs.
I've heard about
something you would never even see that on the menu here. I'm pretty sure. And Dan Yukon Purdy, man, like that's just the guy he is. He like contacted the establishment that they frequent, and I have an egg allergy, and it's fried, so generally things are dipped in egg before it's fried to get the flour to stick to it. And he spoke to the owner, and they made me my own plate that was egg free, so that I was able to try fried frog legs.
And what are they like? Are they good?
And then
chicken, I've been told.
And then the man wouldn't even let me pay for it. He paid for it. That's just how big his heart is.
So he's actually put on there, you on about Yukon, he said, I'm still scared of Fabs. He makes me drive everywhere.
So we meet up at a lot of competitions, and it's ones in like Texas or Louisiana that he would drive to, and I'm flying into. And that's another thing. He like offers to take me to the venue from the host hotel and back, and like just a big heart, that man right there. Like, and then all those wood burnings he's done for all these charities. Like, his heart is so big.
A massive heart.
I want to ask you, anybody that's new to the bearding scene or about to step in the bearding scene, what would your advice be to them? Like, I didn't have it a year ago, so I only had probably a couple of people that had been it. What would your advice be to anybody looking at taking their beard to the next level, i.e. what we do with competing? What would your advice?
I would say, like, be patient if you're growing a beard. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone in this community is so helpful. Like, I see Whiskerenas competing against each other, but they're helping each other out backstage. Like, if something detaches from one of the girls' beards, another competitor is going to help them get it back on, and they got like a goodie bag of shit to help. Like, everyone's willing to help. And I mean, I gotta throw out, if you're growing a beard, you gotta go to Big Sexy Beard Brand and use the code FABS20, save 20%.
That's it. Just plug your beard group. Don't ask permission or anything.
Absolutely fine. We can't say anything. I'm an ambassador of Beard Manners, so if you're over here, you can. But I'm not gonna argue against the man below. We'll let him throw his beard brand out there.
I mean, that's another thing. That's another thing when you gotta mention. Like I said, I feel the need to mention 3 clubs. I definitely gotta mention my sponsor too when I'm up there. And
so plug it, please. Like we say, we're trying to grow us over here. So your Beard Mob California. Who is it else you deal with? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all of the clubs you're from, and I'll tag it to this video afterwards. So,
shit, I could type them out right here. The Gentleman's Social Club of Los Angeles, been a member since my first competition. The Talking Beards Club, when it became a club. To my knowledge, at Beardapalooza, I was a member, and of course, Beard Mob.
Awesome. What I'll do is I'll get links to where Fab's just mentioned, because I absolutely love seeing the Americans and stuff like that. It's always good to help brothers and see, because these beard brands over in America, they also promote online competitions and stuff. And these online competitions are for money goes. Yes, we have to send them to companies, but the money goes off to charity at the same time. And that is what we're doing, is charity. So,
on a completely unrelated note, if Big Sexy
no, you're not allowed to. I'll throw you off the screen.
If Big Sexy Beard Club want to send some products out and we can trial them, from an English perspective, keep the relationships going.
Look at him trying his hardest over here.
I mean, we can see what's up. I mean, it's shipping that's the real B.
I've got to admit, this one I ship some products for Central Beardsman. So through my company Bearded Designs, I deal with Central Beardsman merch and sending merch out to America. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. It kills me off 6-7 weeks maybe to send a parcel out there. It kills me off every time.
Charles, I've had some very insane memorable road trips. Some of them top the actual competition themselves. Like,
Oh, that's Charles, yeah. So that's Rocket from Mobb England.
so I just recently, when I travel like abroad, I try to get like-minded friends that I'm friendly with and do the Airbnb thing. I don't know if you guys have that or something similar to that.
Yeah.
It's way better than a hotel room, man. Like, super cool.
It depends. So we're just about to take over a Premier Inn hotel in Reading Central in 3 weeks' time. I think out of probably 100 rooms there, I reckon 30 of them are Mob for a night. So it's not going to be known as Premier Inn. It's going to be the actual Mobb Inn for the week.
The hotel parties are awesome too. Like, if the club's done work with them before, they know, like, you know what we're about, and we're not gonna like break things or vandalize your property, but we'll probably get a little loud, put us together. Like, sometimes you can't leave that adrenaline at the competition sometimes, especially if you
know. So last year, when I went to the Premier Inn Central, like you were saying, Airbnb, I actually stayed in an Airbnb with my partner last year, but everybody was staying in Central. But because of my anxiety and everything I had, we stayed at an Airbnb. But I walked up to the Premier Inn, and it was quite funny. You had a Premier Inn employee leaving the hotel and turning around and going, "Oh, you here for the beer competition?" I'm thinking, like, obviously I'm walking down the street with my beer. She went, "By the way, just go into Premier Inn and there's about 30 of them at the back of the restaurant." I walk in and that's where I then finally meet the Wallage and the Big Judd and Darren and Claire Parker, which is Red and L, and people like that. It was crazy. Like you say, we took over Premier Inn, but this year it's going to be a lot bigger. But we aren't as scary as what people think. Us with beards, we are the biggest and most friendliest and kindest people going. So
I mean, bikers are the same way. People just look to judge them.
So we have a member.
Biker clubs do a lot of
Sorry.
Biker clubs do a lot of charity too. Like, some of those biggest guys, like, have
I'm going to say we have a member. I won't mention his name on live because I don't know if he's on live, but he is a patched member of our club, and he's actually a patched member of a biker club as well. So they both do the same, because I know for a fact, because yet again, he's approached me and I've done work for him for leaflets for Nick they're doing in June. I will put it out there. So it's Bad Wabbit motorcycle club down in Brighton, Bognor. So they've got a shindig for charity. I will throw that up, but also it's Monkey. But
we have a lot of,
so like you say, mate, I know it's out there, so it's one of them. I know I wasn't going to mention it, but stuff it, I'll mention it. It's for charity. It's a big thing. They do it every year, and he come to me and went, "Can I do leaflets?" But like you say, he's a patch member here. He's a patch member of the bike club.
We have a lot of
bloody good man as well.
We have a lot of Mobb members that I know of, and probably more that I don't, that are also patch members of bike clubs. BFG, Rabbit, Robbie, Summers, man, Ian. There's a lot that I know. Jake Johnson. There's a lot that I know of that are like.
And that's what the thing, people think that these big bikers and the big bearded fellas are scary, but I've got them on my neck, and I walk around with my flat peak, and I still wear like you said, but the thing is, like my missus, and a lot of them have met them. I'm 6'2" and as wide as what I am tall. My missus is like stick thin. But when we walk round together, people look at me when I have the tash, and I'm there like, my missus goes, "Does it not wind you up?" No, it doesn't, because I do this for myself and also for charity. So I want people to stop me and ask me. And every time you explain it to people, it opens their eyes and they go, "Ah, all right then." And it kind of reevaluates humanity in a bit of a way, doesn't it? Because like you say, we ain't scary. We're bike clubs, and we do things for charity and we do things for the.
I love it. I love it because it opens up a window for me to mention my sponsor and hand out a card as well.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's an avenue that absolutely crazy.
It opens up the world to people who wouldn't necessarily be a part of this world, and that person you open it up to could turn out to be the greatest charity event organizer in the country. You would never know, and they would never know about us unless we spoke to them and they speak to us. And I think that's what it's all about, is building them avenues and building them connections with people who might not necessarily have that thought process, but when they start to learn about what bearding is and what we do, it does gel together and they do understand, and it really helps.
I personally know a couple women that are not bearded and they don't compete, but they donate their time and their talents for photographing our stuff.
That's what I mean. It's not just, I will say that it's not just us. There's a lot behind the scenes. The event organizers, you've got treasurers, you've got secretaries, you've got chairmen, you've got social media people that put it out there. There's a lot that goes into these beard comps to raise £1,000, £2,000, maybe £3,000. Your charities over there, like what we've seen over Christmas, in it $20,000-$30,000. It blows our minds. Like, a lot of us bearding blokes have got women behind us that are guiding us. So don't think it's us lot that are doing everything. Right. And I will say that there's a lot of women in the bearding world. So women, if you're involved in everything, then do it. I've just seen a big comment. I want to read it or see who it's from. So Errol Brown, we had a big comp in Birmingham that was hosted by Bearding Villains. Our enforcer Lupin got in contact with their road captain. They turned up prepared, prepped, didn't place, but had a fucking great time. I remember that comp. Do you, Liam? So
I do remember, yeah.
It was another beard club's competition, and only 3 of our members turned up. Each one of them said they were shitting themselves because it was the Bearded Villains. Not that they've got a bad name. It was 3 members against like how many members? If you get what I mean.
I've been to the Bearded Villains World Meet here in California, and I was the only Beard Mob Cali member, the only one. So I know exactly what you mean. It's intimidating, but I got 3rd place though, so they judged off the beard.
They got seated on a VIP table and got beers brought to them. They got treated like the top table of Bearded Villains. And this is what we mean. It doesn't matter what patch you're in, what club you're in. If you're at a club,
it's the community, not the club.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. We wear patches because that's our family. Like Beard Mob's our family. It's who we are. If you're villains, if you're whoever you are, that's fine. If you're all there, that's all we do.
I think it goes to the evolution of how bearding's come about. You know, back in the day, it would have been that animosity between clubs and not having that gelling and whatnot. But nowadays, in the last few years, especially after COVID, people have sort of realised we're all in the same boat. We're all doing the same thing. We're all doing it for charity, and you're getting that mishmash of different clubs working together, and it's amazing. It really is. Instead of having that divide, people are coming together.
And we all go through the daily struggle in the morning of making this thing not look like I'm homeless.
Yeah, there are days where I don't have the tash styled, and I will sit there, and the boys, the only boys that see it are the officers that see it, and I'm there like, boys, look at this, and it's not curled, and it's like, yeah, but
I mean, there's villains at every single comp I've gone to, whether it's their comp or another comp. I've never had a problem with a bearded villain. Some of them.
So no, that Facebook user was Errol Desrat. He was saying 200 patch members and met with villains from Canada, Sweden, and South Africa. That was at one meet in Birmingham. They basically,
same.
So they went there because one of our members is actually from Birmingham. But this year we're actually going to go there, not to outdo them, to support them. We're going to go there and support them as Mobb as well. I've even planned on going up there. It's one of them, like.
So yeah, I went to the world meet here.
I've heard about this one, Jamie.
2019 in Los Angeles, and there was members from all over the pond here, like everywhere here.
Crazy. How many comps do you reckon you've competed in over your 8 years? Because obviously you can have them every other weekend. So
I mean, I have no idea, honestly. There'd be no way to count. Like, I try to keep the like the lanyards for them, but I didn't in the beginning. I honestly didn't keep them. So
my ones are hanging up there all from last year, bar beard on, because they all got taken back from me. Yeah,
I mean, a lot, over 100.
Wow, absolutely crazy.
How many years would we have to compete before we would hit 100 competitions in the UK?
A good what? So we do average 4 competitions a year.
Yeah, so you're looking at being able to be
10 years, like 40 competitions, Liam.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe not 100. I don't know.
Not being funny, I can see a fair few behind you, Fab. So you've got a fair few competitions. You've got like the silky wall of shrine there going on, but it's outdone silky.
You don't place them all, obviously, but you do have fun at all of them, and you do help out a great cause.
That's all it is.
And you're gonna meet some cool people, maybe brothers.
So, I'm gonna say there was a comment made by President Silky. I can't remember if it was on one of our closed chats. So his view is, say if you go to a beard competition and you pay for a spectator's ticket, his view is you're turning up to that competition. Why not pay for a competitor's ticket and actually put a bit more money into for charity? What's your view on that? Because my view is exactly the same as his. Why not do it to put more in the pot?
It can go both ways. I mean, I know a lot of people, presidents who have thrown competitions. They'll try to get people involved, get them involved more. But I mean, maybe they're just like an introvert, and at least they showed up, and then they're gonna help out with. I mean, you have those amazing raffles and stuff going on. They're gonna contribute in that aspect too. So, like, I see both sides. Like, you know, like maybe like hint towards them to compete at like a donated rate. I don't know, or just let them spectate one time. I don't know. They're gonna have fun and probably come back.
I think everybody gets hooked after the first meet, no matter what comp it is, where it is. Yeah.
Look at
So my
she joined Mobb straight after the competition. She got bit by the bug. She saw how the bearded community was, and yeah, she wanted to join there and then, and she did. And sure,
I've had two friends who went just to like spectate and like, you know, cheer me on, and they were both talked into competing, and they both placed their first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So where do you see your bearding future going? Like, is it stopping anytime soon? Are you coming away from competing and judging, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break this year, like I said, except that one event that I committed to in August. That's my sponsor's event, Beard on the Rocks, in Spokane, Washington. So I'll go to that, and anything else, I'm not quite sure about yet. Taking a break. Like, I've already missed some really good ones.
So you're just taking a break out of competing for a little while and just.
Yeah, it's expensive. You know what I mean? Like, I could stay home. Yeah. And I can still donate to the cause of the competition and still help the charity, but save money. And, you know, flying's stressful. Like, my last few flights, travel plans have been inconvenience, some more than others. So it just sucks to pay all that money and then miss a whole day hanging out with your friends and your family because you're stuck at an airport in an unfamiliar location.
Still blows my mind that you have to fly to competitions. Still
I
can't
could
be
have
a-
flown to Judd's house and then flown to Scotland. It's one of them, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I've flown to Texas numerous times, Louisiana numerous times, Tennessee. I've flown to Wyoming, Washington. There's more, and then the other ones I'll drive to, like some of them Nevada, Arizona, like. So like you get to see different places, like
Yeah.
totally different than California.
While we're talking about the future and bearding, obviously you said to yourself you're going to take a little bit of time out from competing for one reason or another, which is fine. How do you view Mobb's future from being a president of an area in Mobb? How do you feel Mobb's journey?
I like this one because you end it on this conversation every single time. I like this one. So this is normally our end question, by the way, Fabs. It's not us shutting you down. This is how we end it. But yeah.
So from you joining Mobb and how your Mobb journey's come, and then into the future, how do you feel Mobb's come and will continue to go to, if that makes sense?
I mean, the work that Mobb's been doing as a whole, when you start looking at these smaller chapters, like in remote locations, like from someone from California would consider raising big numbers, man, to their first comps and trying to get people to come out. And Mobb's been doing charity work, for 6 years now. It's steady, if not climbing, the amount of work. Because the chapters are climbing, and we're gonna mob and grow, man. Like, we're not going nowhere. That's for sure. Nah.
I mean, I've said this probably every time I've asked the question, but to everybody who have asked the question too. But I can say from my time in Mobb, and I'm pretty sure Zen's getting to that point now where he's looking at it as well. You can see that takeoff. There's chapters that we've not seen be active in our Mobb journeys at all, who are suddenly more active. Do you know what I mean? Beer Mobb Tennessee, more active now. Beer Mobb Cali, more active now. Different chapters are getting more active. West Virginia, they're pulling something out of their ass. They are doing really well. And it's really good how you're seeing these chapters.
England.
Dormant. Well, we don't like to blow our own trumpet.
It's not like this, it's like this.
Yeah.
We're not setting no pace. We're trying to catch up with our brothers over the pond. We're 3 years behind you boys. You got to think Silky only set this up 2020.
Yeah.
We're trying to we might be like that, but we're trying to get up to where you've all got at the moment. Like,
I mean, those are all a lot of that's from people way before me, like Buffon and Wizard and like
hats off. Yeah,
Birdie.
Without the OGs, we wouldn't be sat here now. And
definitely.
But no,
but you can see the progression, and it's amazing. And I've not had anybody come on the show. It's pretty cool. Episode 4, we've had somebody mention new chapters, brand new spanking chapters that haven't even got designs out yet, which is fantastic. So those of you that are watching that are part of Mobb or want to be part of Mobb, this episode has literally shown how it can progress. You've got Fabs, who prospected for Beer Mobb. He then became the captain of Beer Mobb Cali. He's now the president of the West Coast area, and is bringing in new chapters into this lovely environment that we have. And I'm pretty sure me and Zen can both say that he's doing an absolutely amazing job. Even though he's new to the role, he's doing an amazing job as president of the West Coast area. Well done, Fabs.
Well done, Fabs. Well done. Well, I want to... It saves us dragging on too late for this evening. I want to thank you for joining us this evening, Fabs, and sharing your story. Sorry.
Thanks for having me. It was great time.
Yeah, no, and obviously I hope we haven't bored too many people, but thank you for sharing it and showing people where they can be and what they can do. And
it's hard with the time zones, I'd love to have some of y'all on our show on Friday. It's just like 3 a.m. for you, I believe.
Hit us up. I can do any time. A few of us will do it. Fridays we ain't too bad, but hit us up. We will do it. We've even spoken about crossing it, so you never know. Could be the first step. But
we could do it on like one of your bank holiday weekends that you keep bragging about in the chat.
What is in
We're
this one this
literally
weekend? Is in the one that the reason why I'm sat here drinking right this moment because I'm not doing full tomorrow morning.
Well, luckily it's only 3 p.m. here because I got to be up at 4:30 a.m. So.
But no, I want everybody to get in the comments now that are watching, give those hearts an absolute smash. Me and Sandman, thank you very much, Fabs, for joining us. I'm going to leave it to this man over here to end the show. But Fabs, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for sharing your story. And one day I cannot wait to share a picture with you at a Mob Fest, England, when we host it in Skegness. You will be in Skegness Mob Fest.
Definitely. There are nicer places to be, but Skegness isn't too bad.
No, we are treating the Americans to Skegness. I don't care what anybody says. Mob Fest is in Skegness.
Fair dues. Isn't one of our members banned from Skegness?
I don't care, but you can now end this show, brother.
Fantastic. So there you go, guys. Episode 4 of the Mobb Inn with myself and the Secretary Zen. An absolutely amazing show. We've got to get to know the man behind the mobster, which is President Mr. Fabulous, who is the president of the West Coast area. He has been in the bearding scene for a number of years and he's sharing some absolute pearls of wisdom with us through his mob journey and through his personal life and how he's been an amazing person in bearding. So thank you from myself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you from Zen. Thank you from Fabs. Much love, everybody. We are
Mob. Peace out. Much love.